क्या सजाए बहुत का दोस्त जाता है या बड़ा के नहीं करने को बड़ा सजाए इसको अनिल में भी है चैनल नहीं yeah I remember come in the
We just started. We're talking about celebrity journey.
Okay. Enlighten me on that a little bit.
So Arnab,
okay, so good evening everyone. Sorry, I'm a little late I guess.
No, I think that's the discount that you get for being a celeb in India, I think. So I was just, I think what has changed majorly would be this medium. I think the most important thing that we need to acknowledge is the power of this new medium, which
is digital?
Which is digital, which is internet. I think that technology per se has really changed a lot of things. We have to first acknowledge that, because initially also people used to sit in their colony and make fun of people or may not like or dislike a celebrity, but now they do it on a medium which comes back to you. So people used to criticize, like, dislike, comment every time. Even our fathers used to do that, grandfathers used to do that. But now we have a fascinating technology which throws it back to your face.
It's not a good feeling.
Yeah. So I think that is what has really been the crux and the root of the change. That, you know, it all comes back to you and it's just instant. So one bad tweet and somebody is replying to you and firing away. So
but Kangana, you are not on Twitter.
Yeah, because
Why
I'm
not?
very sensitive. I can't really take all of that, you know. Especially, and also I think it's not easy to be, you know, where we are. There's so much work pressure and there's so many expectations. And, you know, I mean, I don't know about others, but I started very young. And like I told you in my interview that I am very, I'm sensitive and I take criticism very seriously. Like, I wouldn't really believe that people can do it for fun also. Like, for me, it's like a proper feedback. Okay, so you really said that I look like a bitch. So you, like, what are the, like, from which angle? So, you know, I would take it really seriously and would want to make it a constructive thing for me and my personality and the work that I do. So if people are doing it for fun, or to be nasty, or just because they are having a bad day, you know, I can't deal with that. So I think there are all kind of people out there, and I don't have to know everyone. It's okay.
But, you know, Kangana, and we showed them a clip, Kangana, clippings from the front row, and that interview where she talked about how you don't prepare women like trained dogs to be given away in marriage.
And that interview went viral. I mean, it was a part of social chatter for a long time.
For a long time. That was the single most successful interview we did in 2 years.
And the best part was that when it went viral, the tagline or the headline was that you won't believe who said that. Like, I was like, why would I be the last person who could talk like that? You know, they were like, the actress spoke and you won't believe who the actress is. And I'm like, you know, they definitely don't have the impression of me that I have of me. So there was a
disconnect there.
Bit of a revelation.
No, but I think the credit for that really goes to you, because she spoke very honestly about the struggles of being an actor. You know, she talked about sitting on a set all day, or on a film like Double Dhamal, or you know, one of the not so great projects that she's done, and why you would need to do it. And she was very funny, and she said, well, once you're a, you know, semi-famous person, you can't exactly go away and be an intern at a magazine. You know, you're a semi-famous intern.
Engineer, because, you know, she was there in 2 movies and now she can't do it.
But you know, I will not take credit for that interview, Anu, seriously, and we spoke about it. Also because around that time I was promoting Krish, and that was actually a promotional interview for that film. And when the interview went viral, the messages that started to come in, I was confused about the interview people were talking about. I didn't know it's your interview. They were like, oh, we saw this and the depth of your personality. I'm like, okay, fine. But when the phone calls and the messages became very serious, like 100 messages a day, or things like that, and I'm like, what did I say? And I said, this is an interview with Anu, and Anu doesn't ask you, you know, like really sensational questions, and you know, she doesn't really get into that. So I said, what did we say? I don't really remember anything, you know. But when I went through that again, I realized that she, for the first time, there was, you know, an interviewer who was wanting to know me, like really me, not the person or the perspective people have of me. Like, she was interested in exploring the human being I was, and I had so much fun talking about it. Like, I am usually very agitated when I'm on stage or in any interview. Very. But in that interview, I couldn't believe we were having these really free-flowing conversations, and I was a bit, you know, like, you know, it was a learning experience. That could also be an interview first, when you're, you know, so happy to talk about things that people generally don't talk about. You know, who's interested in those kind of questions? And then it went viral. So that was the, you know, like, for me, I've never had an experience like that before. But that changed a lot for me. Like, people, like I said, they couldn't believe the actress it was.
But Rajat, how do we, as interviewers, you know, honestly, that was a great interview, but it's not often that you get those, you know. So I always wonder that what am I not doing as a journalist that I should be doing to have more really engaging conversations? What do you do?
You know, I think that as much if the actors are to blame that they don't speak candidly and freely, I think that we have to take responsibility for it. I think that we tend not to create engaging conversations. I think that the media tends to just ask similar questions. We're not, again, I think it's funny, it's both parties equally responsible. You know, when you talk about films, they don't want to talk, a lot of actors don't want to talk about too much about films because they probably don't, a lot of them don't know very much about the films that they've made. They've not watched the film before. Just like us, they haven't watched the film either. Most of them will tell you, you need to watch the film for this. But then you're left to ask questions about your life, and invariably that will involve questions about one's personal life and romance, which they don't want to talk about either. So you're really kind of stuck in a situation where they don't really want to talk at all. I mean, invariably the question they want to answer is, what were the moments you remember from the making of this film?
I think so,
for the longest time, I was asked question like 5-6 years ago. I was asked the question, who would you think be the next generation star, Deepika or Sonam? I'm like, me. They're like, come on, you're very funny. Tell us the answer. I'm like, me. Why not me? So like, no, we want a serious answer. I'm like, okay. But they're all very predictable questions, and some of them can get very hurtful also.
But I think there's one thing that I've observed is whenever I watch a lot of these interviews being done, so there is something which is going on in the current affairs. So let's take something in which Mr. Rajiv Masand was also involved. So you will have different sort of interviews. So even if there is a chautha of some person happening, and then there is celebrities attending that, even then there will go ki, "Acha, aapka abhi roast pe kya ho gaye?" So I think that is something which makes me wonder. And another fascinating visual example of this would be whenever I go to airport. So airport has unfortunately become the only place to buy books and magazines and everything. And you see this wall of magazines put there. So you have magazines ranging from India Today to Newsweek to Architecture, and even a magazine on architecture and window paint designing has a Bollywood celebrity on its cover page. And I wonder, so I saw a one-page ad where we had Hritik's biceps representing architecture and iron ore steel exhibition that was happening. So I mean, I wonder that where are the successful people? I mean, I'm sure C.N.R. Rao, who is a physicist, he's a celebrity in his own circuit. There are many people who are, but I think वो मेरे पिताजी कहते थे कि इंडिया में सिर्फ 3 तरह के लोग जाने जाते हैं, नेता, अभिनेता और क्रिकेटर. इसके अलावा कुछ बनोगे तो nobody will know you. So I think there is some moment of truth in that.
I also think that, to be fair, that's changing. Occasionally, as the Kangana interview on your show proved, when you go with great questions, when you go prepared to have a good interview, they will come. And I think that the actors and talent, Bollywood talent, is actually hungry to have intelligent conversations now. I know we occasionally do the round tables, the Bollywood round tables, and
which Kangana,
it's interesting because the first year we did actors, we did directors, we did writers, we did everything but actresses, because you know that you're not going to get 4 actresses together. And then the next year, it is a cliche. So the next year I said, let's give it a shot. And the first call we made was Kangana, and she said yes. I was like, great, that's 1 down, 3 to go. And it was amazing. We actually got Vidya and Deepika and Nimrat, and it was great, which really we didn't anticipate. It's also, I know it's the cliche, but there is some truth in that. You rarely get 4 actresses who are willing to sit there and talk about their careers and their process. And the great thing was that conversation was not about their personal lives. It was about their process, their ambitions, the direction they want to take their career. And so I think that is changing. And then we've done it again. We did it again the next year. So clearly it is changing.
I think your episode with Kangana had the first mover advantage. I think that was the first time that an interview was happening where an actress was able to make fun of ki, then there is one line, even if you're half asleep, you can go, anyone in the world can deliver it. That's really a very funny take on that. So I think, that honesty is, I think when we see the comments on any videos, I think every single person throughout this country's corners are rooting for that honesty, and they can see through you, and that's what they admire. And it was the first time.
Arnab, you talked about Hritik's biceps selling whatever it was selling. So the truth is that actors and actresses are now they're just required for everything, and access to you is so critical for all 3 of us. Like I said, what are the ethical implications of that? Can we afford to piss Kangana off?
No, I think access is not a problem for us anymore. I think everyone.
She said no, off with her head. No, I'm sorry. What?
I think when I started it 3 years back, that time people used to celebrate an open champagne bottle on 50,000 views. So that was the small size of this medium. Today, an average viewer of anything decent gets around 1 million viewership. So I think what happened with television, once the stars and once the filmmakers and the parts that we realized that okay, this medium, which is television, serves 10 million people, 20 million people. So let's be on that screen and let's promote ourselves or the movies or our work. And I think that is what has happened. I think there is no science to it. There is no trade secret. What happened? This medium, internet, gathered a lot of traction. So we now have 3 million, 5 million viewership. And who wouldn't want to cater to that? Who wouldn't want to talk to that?
So basically you're safe and Rajiv and I are messed up.
Yes.
है ना? ये यही बोल रहा है.
I think so. I mean, I don't hope so, but yeah. But
तुम्हारे
anyway, half
दिन-
of them have stopped talking to Rajiv, and because of his latest incident, he has stopped talking to the other half. So I think I was just gazing for an awkwardness between the hug, so that I could know whether he has done some bad review of her. And
No. Kangana talks to both of us. We're good.
I have tremendous respect for
Thank you. No, but
Rajiv and Anu.
Kangana, tell me, what do you look for in an interview?
I don't go with expectations, Anu, because I feel that I've been there for a while now, and I've been through interviews where they don't even allow you to complete your answer. They ask you a question and like, "Acha, okay, usko chhodiye." Okay, fine. So you don't want to go with any expectation, and you just want to go with the flow. That is what I look for. But like you do have people, like when I go for your interview, I definitely look for great conversations and great angles which I must have not explored in my mind. Like the questions that you asked me, I never really sat back or thought about them, or ever sort of went through making those decisions the way I that day spoke about it. So yeah, so I think it depends, like I said, depends a lot on the interviewer and how comfortable they make you feel, and the intent of the person also. When they're asking you questions, you just like someone like me who at 28 has seen half the world. Like I know when I see a person that what that person is seeking from me, and sometimes you give them what they want, sometimes you don't. I'm pissed today. I don't want to give any sensational lines. And sometimes the conversation is so genuine, and the person is genuinely wanting to know who you are, and we are more than happy. Like who is not more than happy telling them who we are, how we got here, and what makes us. Even the film companion thing we did, you asked
The masterclass,
me
yeah.
masterclass. You asked me about the depths of the craft that I've developed over the years, and I can't share that with anyone. Like even sometimes then if I tell Rangul that I cracked this like that, my sister or my brother, they'll be like, wow, so they won't understand that language, so so I was so happy to talk about it, and you valued it. So for me, it was something that I treasure and I value as well.
And what's the one thing that really pisses you off?
Well, depends on the kind of day it is, but usually, of course, like the shallow conversations and obviously the repetitive question, and the person is recording and taking your interview just because they are asked to, and they have to go back with that interview, and you are just one of those people. Like they just kind of
It's a job.
It's a job, and you have to just give those repetitive lines. बहुत अच्छा लगा इनके साथ काम करके, बहुत ही प्रोफेशनल हैं, टाइम पे आ जाते हैं, और मुझे भी अच्छा. और एक आखिरी क्वेश्चन, they cut you off in between because they have to go. So you meet all kind of people.
It's funny she says that, because as journalists now I know I make sure that I don't ask those questions, because that's exactly the answer you're going to get. What was it like to work with this person? Like she's going to tell you that he was a pain and it was horrible and I'm never going to work with him again. She's never going to tell you that, right?
Exactly.
Maybe you, Anu.
But another thing that just kind of drives you mad is वो अपनी फिल्म का डायलॉग सुनाइए.
I think that's. I mean, we as viewers also get very. What is that?
Okay, like it took me 3 days to do that, and how can I do it here now? Okay, dialogue नहीं सुना सकते तो can you please dance?
Really?
On that song, please. No, it's okay. We can, we have to wrap it. One thumka, please. Like, so I don't know, people do that. I mean, actors are very gracious and very nice who do that. I've never got off my chair and done a thumka for anyone or things like that. And I make sure that I convey that to them, that, I don't look at my craft like that, where I can just get up anytime and do the kind of things that I, do in movies. I respect my work, and I cannot, and it's impossible for me to display a word from my character or a particular nuance, on TV, television, like that. So I think somewhere media needs to have that sort of respect for, I don't say that every actor approaches their craft like that, not all of us, but like everyone has a different approach. There are ones who are so charming that they would love to actually get onto this table and, charm you all and, seduce you all. But all of us are not the same, Few people have their own personalities, and I think interviewers somewhere tend to think all actors are just the same, Like I am so shy, like every time I try to get on stage, do a show or anything, I've had like major panic attacks and palpitations and things like that. I can never dance on stage. Most of the time I don't go for awards because I get so nervous, and I am here today because it's you, or I don't usually do, like very personal, intimate this thing, because I have fucked up way too many times. And I hope to keep to myself, and apni izzat apne haath mein hoti hai.
Arnab, do you think comedy is the key to breaking images, to getting a different spin on celebrity?
Yeah, I think since the time of Premchand only, whenever we have tried to tell truth to the society, or we have tried to deal with it, if you deal with it in any other manner other than comedy and humor, I think it has faced very dramatic and bad consequences. When we created Barely Speaking with Arnab, a lot of people think that okay, it's a show where but the whole agenda was, we were inspired with a couple of shows, like there is one show called Between Two Ferns, and there's a show called Ali Ji in the House, and there's of course some inspiration from Mr. Rajiv Masan, the way he he reviews the movies. So we thought that why not humanize the guests? I think because when we imagine that when a celebrity talks to her friends or his friends, they talk to them like people, and when you talk to your friends, you बोलते अरे यार तू क्या कर रहा है यार, क्या बेवकूफी कर रहा है, तू क्यों ऐसे कर रहा है, और बोलते हैं हाँ यार ये गलती हो गई यार मेरे से यार, मुझे नहीं करना चाहिए था ये. I think that conversation is a part of us being human. It cannot be that somebody has become a star then he has stopped having that conversation, and we just try to capture that. So even when Shah Rukh, whose stakes are so high, and he was willing to sort of come on stage and face these questions, forget that. When Mr. Arvind Kejriwal, who is like a politician, who is a leader, who is having his own...
You recently had him on your show.
He is recently having, I think he keeps having things. So he, imagine a man who is always in the midst of something. He agreed to be on the show.
And so they had Arvind Kejriwal, and then they had the fake Arvind Kejriwal.
Yeah. I think Jeetu is here, and he met him. He said, "You do better Kejriwal than him." I do, And I just said, I hope he does the same when it comes to politics. So he said that okay, I would love to be a part of this. So we made this question that so when you went and proposed to your wife, how did you do that? So he said he actually did this in real life. He went to a room, locked the door, and said, "I want to marry you." So then we cracked the joke that अगर वो नहीं मानती तो आप वहाँ पे बैठ के धरना देते, ठीक है? And did you have a doubt about your engagement 46 days after you were engaged to her? So I think and he was, because all of us are humans, and I think we appreciate these kind of jokes, and that is what we intended to do. That okay, let's break the PR machinery manufactured image that they have been attuned to for such a long time. Yeah. Let's break that. Let's make them sit in front of a fake meanest host that can be there in this country, and let him ask brutal questions, and let them be friends, and let them talk to them like friends, and that is what we've tried to achieve. And Pariniti was
done very well.
I'm telling, we were scared to tell Pariniti that we are coming to you with jokes like तुम्हारी अगली मूवी का नाम शुद्ध देसी घी होना चाहिए, शुद्ध देसी रोमांस नहीं. We ourselves were doubting it, but they said no, let's do it. Because so I think the younger crop of actors, I mean, no offense to the elder ones, but the younger ones are way more cooler. Thanks to you and thanks to a lot of people, they are one of us. When we talk to them, there is also less inhibition in meeting celebrities. So now you will see normal people on airport or on shoot, they will say hi to you as if they relate to you. Initially we used to be like intimidated by okay, Mr. Amit ji is there, or Amir sir is there, or Shah Rukh sir is there, but now they talk to you like friends. I think that is a leveler, and again it's happened because of this feedback mechanism which internet has given us. So I think.
Kangana, how invested are you in the manufactured PR image? How would you be willing to break that? I mean, you're a 2-time national award winner. Ladies and gentlemen, please, round of applause here. Yeah, come on. Like outstanding. Yeah. But do you care about it? How invested are you in that?
Like I said, you know, I don't know, as much you try and be thick-skinned, it does matter what people think of you, and especially when you are in this business where image is everything. Not everything, but it means a lot. Like, image means a lot. The kind of roles that you get, if people identify with you and the character that they offer you, also then also that, you know, leads to the kind of brands that you get. So overall, the business is completely based on the kind of image that you have and the perception that you have. So it does matter. Also in this age, and you know, in this time when everything is so this spreads like wildfire, maybe not manufactured PR or things like that, but you at least don't want people to have, like, before your interview, no one really cared to know who I was as a person, and no one really thought that I could, like, you know, like in their own words they wrote that this is the last woman we thought would talk like this, you know. So I'm like, so this is the thing. So people have their own, you know, preconceived notions about people who come from the outside or not. Around that time I wasn't that successful, and people weren't even willing to take my interviews, and you did it with a lot of passion though, and I was more passionate to talk about my life. But you know, like back then there weren't many people who were so interested and invested in my life or my struggle. That was commendable, and I'm grateful for that. And my brother jokes about it a lot, but when your interview went viral and he was like, I hope it was a movie, it would have made 100 crores. Because it's viral, it's everywhere. I'm like, yeah.
Which movie was this for? This Krish.
It was for Krish.
Yeah.
It was for Krish. It was 2013 for Krish. Last question, and though I'm having a lot of fun, but I know you have an early shift.
And she takes her craft seriously.
She takes her craft very seriously. No,
I am not coming on your show. Where you make fun of
Stop laughing now. It's not working.
No.
no.
You know how many times Queen has been played in my office? You know, we must have lost on business because of your film.
You know, one of the big sort of conundrums I have in my life as a professional journalist, and I'm old school, I'm a print journalist to begin with. I was trained as a print journalist. I went to Northwestern University. I was taught that advertising and editorial are two separate things. They're church and state, and never shall the twain meet. And now we live in a world where you can buy your own press. It's extremely disturbing for me. I don't know how to get my head around it. I cannot make peace with it. How does it impact on you as an actor when you can actually just buy and construct your own interview and then wake up in the morning and look at yourself and say, wow, you know, you can create your own myth. You can just do it. What does that do?
You know, I really don't have much to say about it, but you know, it's very harmful for the business part of our you know, craft, because you spend so much money buying these media nets or full page ads, or you know, to build perception, and then you want to save that money and not put it in the film and do things like that.
You put it into marketing instead.
Marketing instead, and no one knows how much it is benefiting, you know, from because film like, you know, for example, Queen. I mean, it just did well on word of mouth, you know, and eventually the content has to be good, but it's true that people are way too invested in the buying part of it, you know, like they want to buy everything from reviews to media net to opinions to blogs. Everything is bought these days, which you know, makes very hard for small filmmakers and the ones who are very genuinely, you know, trying to make cinema.
Rajiv, does it bug you? Does it bug you?
It does. And now there's not even a distinction between, you know, what is paid and what is unpaid. So you're reading material and you don't know. I mean, you know, but you're meant not to know, and it's dangerous. It's just dangerous. It's what breed of journalists are being created. It's scary. I mean, for a younger breed, they don't know any different. They don't know of a time when they were two separate things, when advertising and journalism was two separate things. So it makes me very uncomfortable. It's very dangerous.
But we shall hope, and we have Arnab to give us honest feedback always.
Yeah, I think so, because I think that's one of the trickier and leveling part of digital medium, is that there is only so much of buying that can happen. So because every single viewer is very omnipowerful, they'll just do a click and close the thing because they don't like it, or they'll go ahead, comment it and like it because they really feel for it. So I think till now, fingers crossed, there is no buying and selling happening on that medium, and we hope that we keep it like that. And
yeah, but you can manipulate perception of people, because everyone is not, sort of molded to think that way. What they watch on TV or they read, they tend to make their opinions based on that, because
they believe it.
Yeah, because and why I stopped reading paper, which is very harmful, and watching TV is because they don't tell you news, they tell you perception, what you should be thinking about this news, which is wrong, because you're feeding my brain. Like, I'm not allowed to make a perception of this particular event or this particular piece of news or action taken by government or some rape case that happened there. You're telling me what I should be thinking and what is actually happening, because you should only give me the news and then I will think what is happening, So this is also the difference between actually the reporting and actually, actually trying to form the perception of people.
So you don't read papers at all?
It was supposed to be a secret.
Do you read your
Now you will call me on your show and ask me who's the president of India, and I'll be like,
No, but Kangana, do you read your own interviews? Do you see your own press? Not at all. Really?
No.
You don't want to know what they're saying?
No, because I'd be like, oh, I didn't mean that. Now I'm disturbed. No, like I said, I don't know, I just keep to myself, because there's no point anyway, because you just, you just want to allow that much to happen on its own. And I think it just makes people controlling. That I want to control everything, what people are thinking about me, I want to control that. What people are writing about me, I should know, and it should have happened or would have happened. And when you are in a place, like as insecure as an acting job, you tend to be so controlling and annoying. That is what I've learned from my seniors. So don't be like them. Don't read paper. Don't see your interview. Don't worship yourself, So just let it be.
Don't believe your own press. Yeah, I think that's fundamental, especially when you can buy it.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't believe the products that you're buying, I think.
Indeed. Arnab, Rajiv, Kangana, thank you so much.
Anu.
Thank you.
Pleasure here.
Thank you guys.
So interesting to see them stop clicking and listening.
Also, congratulations on your book.
Thank you. So we have to now unveil it.
Oh yeah.
No puppy for you, but she's got two.
You can hold one.
मैं इधर